for the wider picture of what's going to happen over the next few days, Edmund Fitton-Brown is with us, a former UK ambassador to Yemen, former coordinator of UN sanctions and threat assessment. He's also a senior fellow of the Foundation for Defence of Democracy. Edmund, I just reeling from that interview, my goodness, what an incredible strength that Tal has. And the Israeli people are being asked to accept so much in this deal. But hopefully the hostages, the 20 of them we think are alive, will be back safe, maybe not well. They'll need huge trauma counselling. They'll need huge medical attention and just food in the next few days. Just tell us how you see things playing out over the next few days, given what we've been told, Edmund.
Thanks, Peter. And let me say, first of all, it's humbling to come on after Tal because she spoke with such passion and such extraordinary insight. This kind of thing is incredibly hard when you have an exchange deal. And this has happened before, of course, between Israel and Hamas, where there have been these very painful exchanges, painful from the Israeli point of view. They're letting people go who have a lot of blood on their hands. In this case, we're talking about nearly 2,000. 1,700 of those are people who are picked up in Gaza. 250 will be people with serious blood on their hands, people who are doing prison time, having been found guilty of violent crimes, including multiple murders. So that's a hard thing for people to accept, and I can understand that mixed feeling that Tal expressed so beautifully. There are some worries here. We want to see the hostages released by Monday, and we want to see the remains of the deceased hostages returned by Monday. I note that Hamas are now haggling over the identity of some of the people that the Israelis will release. And I think at the moment they're trying to sort of play brinkmanship with Israel and indicating they might release the hostages early if at least 2 of 7 people that they consider of particular high value are amongst the 1,950 people released. At the moment, the Israelis are saying no to that. I expect the Israelis to continue to say no, and I expect Hamas to cave on this, because I think if they fail to release the hostages, then they run the risk that President Trump will hold them responsible for causing the deal to break down.
And we're talking about problems already with the first phase of the deal. The second and third phases, there's still an awful lot to be negotiated here, isn't there? They're sort of getting it's a classic negotiation strategy, isn't it, where you deal with the most pressing issues first, and then the longer term, more difficult, more crunchy issues, those are coming later. And I mean, there's so much still to be negotiated here, isn't there?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I think we have a reasonable expectation that the first phase of the deal will be successfully completed. I think probably Hamas will go ahead with the hostage releases. I'm sure the Israelis will keep to their part of the bargain on releasing the prisoners. And then the access for humanitarian trucks, I think that's a given. That will definitely happen. The guns have already more or less fallen silent. The Israelis have already deployed to the so-called yellow line. So I think we will get there. And of course, this is key in terms of the optics with President Trump planning a visit to the region tomorrow. But then, as you say, the crunchiest stuff comes in the second phase, and then perhaps even more so in the third phase. What I find interesting here is that the crunch points are going to hit Hamas before they hit Israel. Makes it very much in the Israelis' interest to get through this first phase successfully, because if they do so, then it's going to be Hamas who then have to show their colours over laying down their arms, over the decommissioning of some arms, over accepting that they have no future role in the governance of Gaza, over allowing an international stabilization force to deploy. And those are all crunch points. Then none of those things have been accepted by Hamas yet. And Hamas is showing some signs also of some movements on the ground that might be preparatory to resisting those intermediate stages. There have been some Hamas deployments. There have been skirmishes with the Dogmush clan. The Hamas say that they're trying to prevent looting in the interim phase. It looks to me as if they're pre-positioning to resist the second phase of the plan.
It'll be fascinating to see what happens, Edmund. It's great to talk to you. I always learn so much from you. You're my favourite Middle East analyst. No doubt we will talk more as this deal plays out. It'll be fascinating to see what happens this week. We'll bring it to you all on Talk.